Happy Sunday morning, everyone. Taking a live look outside. Ooh, looks like some of those clouds cleared out. We got some blue skies, a little bit of sunshine to start off your Sunday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Venusia Roy. We want to head right over to Corey Reppenhagen, who's hanging out with us this weekend. And Corey, we've got quite the roller coaster when it comes to our temperatures. Beautiful today, tomorrow, and then we heat right on back up.
Yeah, exactly. We're kind of like getting on the ride right now, and it's going to go up super high before we come crashing down on the other end, at least hopeful. That one shot there we saw from Lookout Mountains, clouds starting to clear up. The shot from downtown Denver here, clouds still hanging out in the area. We did have a cold front move through. The third cold front in 4 days here in the Denver metro area. Going to keep the temperatures pretty nice here. Right now, 61 degrees at Denver International Airport. A little bit of a breeze. It's been a kind of a breezy morning, but not too bad. The cold front not having a huge impact on our low temperatures. These current temperatures that we're seeing across the state, nothing too crazy. We got a few upper 30s up in the high country, but nothing too outrageous. What this cold front will do is impact our high temperatures for the day, keeping us below 80 degrees for most of the area. Those clouds kind of coming and going here. We'll have afternoon showers develop between 4 and 6 p.m. We'll have about a 40% shot at getting one of those showers wherever you live in the Denver area. Temperatures all across the state looking real nice. They're just below average except for the western slope where it's just a little bit toasty. And coming up in the forecast, we'll be talking about how those thunderstorms are going to shape up, how that 40% coverage is going to unfold. Also, we'll be talking about the heat wave that's coming, and another dry trend is also coming. So today would be the best shot to get some rain.
All right, thanks so much for that, Corey. New this morning, police are investigating a shooting with multiple victims at a park in Aurora. This happened last night around 9:15 on South Urbana Street. Police say 3 victims were taken to local hospitals, one of them suffering life-threatening injuries. So far, no arrests have been made, but police say that this was an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public. If you happen to know anything about this shooting, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 720-913-STOP. Also new this morning, Denver Fire responded to a house fire near 6th and Utica Street a little before 2:30 this morning. Crews arrived to find smoke coming from that house. They did say that one person was found at the home, and sadly that person has died. The fire is under control as investigators are looking into what started it. For a 4th time now in the last month, people look it up to see a small plane making an emergency landing where you don't want to see it. This time, the plane landed right on I-76 near Brush, Colorado. The FAA is now investigating that incident in Washington County. The single-engine Cessna 172 landed on the interstate. This was yesterday afternoon. 2 people were on board, but luckily no one was hurt. Took about an hour for crews to haul the plane off the interstate. Then they took it to Fort Morgan Airport. It is not clear quite yet what led up to that emergency landing. Looking ahead to tomorrow, an arraignment hearing is scheduled for the man charged in the death of his wife after she fell out of their car in a Greenwood Village parking lot. 9 News reporter Brianna Clark is joining us live from the newsroom. And Brianna, Justin Couts managed to avoid arrest for several weeks.
Yeah, he did. The incident happened back in October, but police didn't arrest him until mid-November. Now, nearly 8 months later, Justin Couts is finally making his first court appearance in the case. This is the parking lot where investigators say Couts' wife, Tara Cathcart, died. Police say they were called here after Couts was seen stealing items from a store in the Cherry Hills marketplace. When officers confronted the couple, they say the two jumped into a white Toyota SUV. A viewer shared a video of the incident with us, and it shows a Greenwood Village police officer standing next to the SUV. The driver's side door is open, Cathcart in the driver's seat, and Couts sitting somewhere in the middle. His hands are on the wheel. As the couple tried to drive away, Cathcart can be seen partially hanging out of the vehicle. The video then shows the Toyota slamming into nearby parked cars, causing that open driver's door to slam into Cathcart. She then falls into the ground and the SUV takes off. Cathcart died from her injuries. An officer was also hit by that open car door and was partially dragged when trying to stop them. Couts has been charged now with first-degree murder. His arraignment is tomorrow morning, 8:30 in Arapahoe County, and we'll keep you guys posted on what happens.
All right, we really appreciate that update. Thank you so much, Brianna. People are recovering this morning after falling through a second-story deck in Evergreen during a kid's birthday party. Elk Creek Fire says about 50 people were on the second-story deck when all of a sudden it collapsed. Officials say an ambulance did take 3 kids to the hospital for minor injuries. We're told most of the kids at the party were between 5 and 10 years old.
Kids and parents and friends and family, sounds like they're doing okay. We're so grateful that no one was hurt worse than they were. It could have been a lot more serious.
No word on what caused that deck to collapse, and while the fire department is saying that they've never worked a situation like this, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is estimating that there are hundreds of injuries just like this across the country every year. Turning to the race for the White House, reaction to President Biden's one-on-one interview is starting to come in, with the fate of his campaign hanging in the balance. A 5th Democratic lawmaker is now calling on him to step aside, while more are admitting privately that they are weighing doing the same. But President Biden remains defiant as he tries to restore lost confidence among lawmakers, donors, and most importantly, voters, in an exclusive sit-down with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos. A new post-debate poll of 7 battleground states shows that the race is still tight, but the doubts over the future of the president's candidacy are only growing. The president says that he did talk with at least 20 members of Congress since that debate who he says supports his candidacy.
None of the people said I should leave. But if they do? Well, it's like, they're not going to do that.
Biden is vowing that nothing short of the divine would make him step aside. The judge in former President Trump's classified documents case has now granted more trial delays. On Saturday, the judge granted Trump's request for further briefings on the issue of presidential immunity. The ruling is the latest fallout from the Supreme Court's presidential immunity decision. That came down on Monday, and they ruled that Trump has immunity from prosecution for some conduct as president. The judge also paused 2 upcoming deadlines for Trump and his co-defendants. There is no trial date set for this case. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. In news around the world, voters in France are headed to the polls to vote in this second round of a snap election called by the president. After taking the lead in the first round of voting last Sunday, the far-right National Rally is closer to power, putting France on course for a far-right government for the first time since World War II. The new Popular Front left-wing coalition came in second with 28%, while the president's centrist alliance trailed with 20%.